Hello, this is Tom again. I thought, what the heck, I'm going to show you the assembly of this thing because I can see where you can make several mistakes, and I probably will make several mistakes. So hopefully if you get one of these, you can view my video and learn from my mistakes. So the first thing it says in instructions is to fix the motor holder onto the motor with 4 screws, and it says M3 times 10. I have no idea what that means. Probably a type of screw. And it, other than that, I'm not that familiar with that nomenclature. So I've got lots of screws. I've got these tiny screws. I don't know if you can see them over here. I got one big bolt. I've got 4 larger screws and 4, well, actually these are the same size. Yes, they are. Well, yes. Now they're a little bigger. Those are a little bigger. I'm guessing that those are the right ones. It's purely a guess. So here is the mounting little flange, and this is the motor assembly. So again, it doesn't tell me which way to put this, and maybe it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to lay that on there. Take these screws, which I hope they are the right screws, and see if I can not lose any. Let me do it this way. Let me put the first one in there, and then lay this back down. And we'll tighten this up slightly, not all the way. That's one thing I always do, is when I'm assembling things, initially I don't tighten everything right away. I just kind of put it in place and then see if I've got it in the right place. Sorry for the background noise. I have to share my workshop with the washing machine and dryer, so they're running now. The weather has really turned warm here in Florida, and it's like 100% humidity. So even though this is doesn't take a lot of effort, I'm starting to sweat a lot. So now that these seem to be lining up, I'm going to tighten these down. The assembly of this, since it's these self-tapping screws, kind of well, Mickey Mouse, I'll say. Again, I don't know how well it's going to hold up. And these 4 screws will be taking the stress of the antenna and rotating it, and any wind stress. So I will not be surprised if this antenna doesn't last a season. Pretty flimsy, but it's only $35. And it's really just an experiment. Of course, most of the things I do are just experiments. I never finish anything, it seems. Yeah, I don't want to over tighten these. I do want to get them snug so it doesn't slip. If I was doing this permanently, I'd probably use some Loctite to keep those screws from backing out, or some kind of, I don't know if Loctite is appropriate for plastic or not. Okay, I think that's tight enough. So that's step 1 done. And what's the next thing to do? Okay, slide the 4 U-shape or U-frequency vibrators. What the heck is a U-frequency vibrator? Onto the sport rod through those rectangular holes in the center, line up with the pre-drilled holes, with 4 small holes sort of secure them with small silver screws provided. Again, it didn't tell you which screws. So what they're talking about, and now I know what this is for, is these little, gee, they're a little corroded already. Whoa, look at that, it's rusty. Yep, man. I guess they got a little salt on the boat when it came over from China. So I assume these all are identical. Boy, they're in bad shape. Man, think what they're going to be like after they've been out in the heat and the rain for a while. Now, is this... Okay, that appears... That's got a big hole. So I assume this is the busy end. The signal's coming in this way. God, look at that rust. So I assume they go on this way. So I line it up with a hole. And then I use, hopefully I only need 4 because that's all that's left. 4 screws. I'm definitely going to do a review on Amazon on this, because there's a lot of things I don't like about it already. Well, that's going to be hard to get that in there. Get it lined up first, and then try to get my screw in there without losing it on the floor, and tighten it down. Again, got to be careful because it's pretty cheap looking plastic, and if you tighten that down too far, it's going to bust. Okay, there's one. Let me move this out of the way. Give me some more room. Go for number 2. Try to get it on the same way, which is this way, with this thing facing to the back, or what I think is the back. And this one's struggling to go on. There we go. And we'll slide it down. Get it lined up there. Another reason I'm doing this video is for myself, so that if I come up with something wrong, I can go back to the video and try to figure out what I did wrong, besides just purchasing this in the beginning. Yeah, come on, find the hole there. Okay. Need to find a hole. Where's the hole? Oh my gosh. This was what I was afraid of. It's going to take forever. Don't move. Moved again. There we go. Some of you that know me quite well know that I'm very impatient. So if something starts giving me a problem, I'll have to throw it across the room. Another tight fit. I just hope that control box works, because I think I'm beyond the 30-day return period. Well, I know I am. Plus, trying to get all this stuff back in a box to return it, what a nightmare that would be. And I'm sure a lot of manufacturers probably, when they're coming up with designs and stuff, probably say, well, we don't want too many returns, so how can we package this so it's impossible to return? Okay, this one's being there we go. There we go. So far, it's pretty easy to assemble. Of course, maybe the easy part is first. Get you involved with it. Again, this hardware is pretty flimsy. Okay, don't want to tighten again. Again, we don't want to tighten it down too tight, because as the temperature changes, all this stuff is going to flex, and if it doesn't have enough room to give, it's going to crack, and then eventually it'll come loose. Okay, So that's done. Step 3, there's only 5 steps. Step 3 is you're going to put this assembly into the big piece, which is this piece here. And the question is, which way does it go? Looks like some kind of like feet are on the bottom, which are up there, both there. Yeah, that doesn't tell me anything. Okay, what's going to be the key? That's interesting. Oh, I thought that was cracked, but it's a little piece of string of plastic. Now, these lock or anything? No, they don't lock. And the thing is, oh, but it does have metal on it there, so that is going to be acting like a reflector. And this side is different in that crash. This side is different, and it does have a screw hole, which, no, oh, okay, yeah, it does have, it's interesting, it has a screw hole, but what do you do with a screw hole? And that doesn't mount there. Oh, okay, I see how it mounts. This is going to mount up inside there so that these 2 prongs, yeah, there's connectors down in here for those 2 prongs. So this is the bottom. That's what I wanted to figure out. So that's the bottom. And, oh, that screw is going to go through this thing, which again, there's no nut. So now the question is there upside down or just symmetrical? Well, I got the screws on this side, so I'll try to put those down, I guess. And then, I'm not sure what this little plastic thing is. I don't know what that's about. This goes in here, I think. I say this goes in here. Ooh, it is getting warm in here. I turned the fan off so it wouldn't be so noisy, but I'm going to turn the fan back on. There we go. Okay, now we got to get this lined up. There's the hole. Ah, clicked in place. That's good. And now we'll put this bolt in there. Again, there's no nut on the end of it. It's just going to be threaded into that piece of metal. Well, I say it's going to be threaded into that piece of metal. Well, it's not being threaded in too well. It's in a little too far. I'm out too far. There. Again, the plastic here, really light, thin plastic, easily probably broken. Okay, now we're getting it in there. Again, how much do I tighten it? I don't know. Okay, so that's done. Set that over there. And now we're going to mount the motor unit and mounting cylinder to the underside of the antenna. Attach the circular red cap to what? To the end of the support rod. Option. Oh, I see. They give you a red cap to put over this? No. I don't know where it goes. Anyway, let's go back to, we're going to mount this guy onto here. We're going to jam this into there. There, that went in nice and neat. And then we have 4 big screws that we're going to put in place. Some of them are going to be hard to get to. We'll just get this one started, and let's put that down so we're not putting pressure on that. Move this out of the way, move that out of the way. The 2 back ones are going to be a little tough to get to, but I can get to them. This is interesting. This is kind of sticking out there. I think that's back all the way. I think it's gonna rub. We'll see. Need a longer screwdriver so that interfere with that. I'm going to just check the instructions to make sure. Yeah, those are supposed to be fully open, and they are. Okay, we'll tighten that up a little bit later. Another one in. Nice and bright and shiny, but boy, Florida weather is just going to tear into this thing. Now, the connectors that were on the bottom of this mounting thing that bring the power to, well, I guess they bring, I guess what's going to happen is the signal and the power is going to come down the same cable. So those two little fangs there plugged into there were just pushed in to some contact spreader type connections. So again, over the months and the weather, those are going to lose good connection. So that's, whoa, 40 line. Almost lost my first part. This is a little difficult to get to. There we go. Try to tighten it down. You have to get a longer screwdriver. Again, I'm trying to be careful not to break anything because everything's pretty fragile. Or appears to. Okay, that's making contact. Let me see if it's shoved down. Yep, don't want to over tighten it. This cheap plastic will crack, I'm sure, if I over tighten it. Go back and maybe tighten these all the way. Easy. That one I can't get to. Now, like I say, one thing I noticed and I'm a little concerned about is this knob is sticking out, and when this rotates, it looked like it might be brushing up against that. We'll see. Okay, what's the next step? I think we're getting there as far as putting the antenna itself together. Yeah, that's it. Now we got to connect the coax cable between the power supply and the antenna. Use provided cap on the antenna side of the coax cable. And I'm still not sure what to do with this. Some of you probably tell me what to do with it. Not sure what to do with it. Okay, let's see what else we got left in the way of parts. This is the remote control. This is the power cube. And this is the control box. Which again, the plastic is pretty cheap. I mean, what they're saying is to hook this thing up, hook this cable up. Again, it doesn't look very long, and it's got your old F connectors, of course. So I think I'm pretty much there, because the next thing it shows is hooking up the coax cable to this connector here, and then that to the control box, and the power to the control box, and plug the power in, and we're ready to go. What I can do to see if it even works as far as rotating is I can set this on my bench and have this upside down and see if I can control this motor, see if it rotates. Let me see if I can do that. Probably, I don't know how many minutes I'm up to. It's probably a lot. Let's just break this out real quick and temporarily hook this cable up. And I will not be surprised if it doesn't work. Oh, I hate these F connectors. They're usually down in this. That reminds me, I meant to get one of those tools. They have special tools for tightening up F connectors in hard to reach places like this. I meant to get one of those and I forgot. Well, I need to do that, because I still don't have this tight. And I hate to use pliers or wrench on things like this. Especially this. This is pretty flimsy. Yeah, it's not tight, but I'm going to leave it alone. It's tight enough maybe. Put the other end to one of these connectors. Let's see. Is it going to tell me which one? Oh, good. They're not marked. Well, that's wonderful. There's two connectors on this box, and they're not marked. Let's see if this tells me anything. Yeah, maybe from the pictorial, it shows the one on this side. Well, actually, okay, let's see. Oh, we haven't, okay. Okay, yeah, here's the out. What's the extra cable? Now I'm confused. That didn't take much. Okay, it shows the cable from the antenna coming in to this side, and then it shows this little thingy here, and then it shows the 110 volt power cable hooked here. But then there's a power connection here. Oh joy. Let's look at the power supply here. I bet you it's not it's not what it's showing in the diagram. No, it's not. It plugs in here, of course, right here, naturally. So that's confusing to say the least. So, trying to decipher the diagram here. I assume the cable from the antenna goes on this side. Okay, so we'll hook that on there temporarily. Again, I'm fighting with this F connectors. Okay, and I'm not really interested in hooking it up to a receiver or anything, so I'm just going to lay that there. And then the 110 volt power cable says it goes on this side, which is this extra connector. I doubt that's correct, because, and maybe there's another adapter that goes there that didn't get supplied with this, maybe for another country or something. It uses different power. So anyway, here's my power cable. It goes into here, I assume, and this plugs into my power strip. And I got a green light. Let's move this out of the way. Again, this cable is not tight, and so I should be able to push this rotation button and see the motor move. And it does. And it sticks. Just like I thought it would. It's hitting on that screw-on thing, which might mean I have this rotated on here incorrectly. That could be. It didn't really give me the details of what position to put that mounting thing on. So I'm going to stop the video now, and I'll play with remounting that and see if I've got it mounted wrong. So that's the show. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.